For those of you who don't know, fucking Shreddit Reviews is a spin-off of a show called Tone Cat, right? Which is a spin-off of a show called Content, but Content's not important. Tone Cat is. And on Tone Cat, we were forced to watch a show called Outbreak Company. I thought that was the worst show I'd ever be forced to watch, and I was correct. However,
Oh,
this is a
cooler name.
close fucking second, and I think
Oh
Marin
shit.
can agree with me.
Wait,
No.
what?
We're not
You
gonna
think
say
That's
that.
a,
Flip
I
Flappers is
expected you to
fucking
like it.
awful?
I
I
I did
think
not
you're
enjoy it.
judging it wrong.
Damn. Wait, are we recording?
Yes, we're live.
Holy shit.
I'm
What?
Reborn, this is unexpected. Well, start us off then. What's the worst thing about this show?
My issue with this show is just it's like so bland and predictable kinda. Like
Hmm.
okay, almost every short movie that's about someone coming out as gay, right? Which is the deeper meaning here that you're supposed to pick up on. The villain is always the parent. The parent's evil, and that's the twist villain at the end of this. It's her mom, and it's like, well, I saw this coming. Fucking just it feels like a bunch of different just fucking cliches just put together into a magical girl show with amazing art and animation, but that doesn't carry it for me.
So
I
like the opposite of Speed Grapher.
I think you might be missing the point,
I
actually.
yeah,
No,
I didn't
I
see it as like a
So
coming out allegory.
it's not
I mean,
at
it was
all a coming
gay,
out
but I don't think that
allegory.
was
It
the
was a little
focus.
gay. It was a little
No,
gay, but
I
but it
did
had nothing at
research.
all to do with gay. But it's not.
I did
It
research. It
even
was intended to be a coming out allegory.
and you
sure
know
you
Was
what?
did. You
I
really
did so
think
forward
much
about it all
research.
along, though. That's why I don't believe
from
it.
from your perspective, I think it's understandable, especially after you sort of get used to it and get jaded to a lot of stories like that.
Yeah.
So while I think if it's your first kind of series like this, you would think this is something absolutely amazing. But if you've seen a story like this so many times, it's not like the only thing really fascinating about it is the animation after a certain point.
I,
And, that's just the only thing holding it up if you're not jaded by it, you know?
I still think I still think you guys are missing the point. Uh, it does have a lot of elements reused from like other shows, is cliche as you might say, but that's largely relegated to the pure illusion worlds. Like the fact that there are mechs at one point. Like
What?
yeah, there's
No,
there's
No, I mean, as far as tropes, it does a lot more
well yeah,
than
there's
just inside the pure illusion worlds.
fair. But the point at the end is not really about the gayness or coming out, and her mother being the villain. Her mother is also not the villain. Is
Right, it's her tulpa or something.
it's like her alternate. It's like her alter ego of sorts, a part of her personality that she allowed to take over after a massive amount of stress was dealt to her.
I mean, I get that, but it's just like I feel like I've seen the story before. I'm sorry. It's just I mean, even you saying that is just her alter ego or another part of her. Shows that usually are about coming out that have the parents of a villain also try to kind of redeem them at the end, like, oh, I was so consumed by my homophobia, I just turned into a monster.
But her mom wasn't at all consumed by
Yeah,
homophobia.
it's
Her
like for
her
different
her
reasons, but
mom
it's the same
her
idea.
child was literally being taken away from her
Yes,
forcibly.
but that's not the point. The point is different vehicle, same destination.
the The point is not really explicitly about coming out. It's more
Yeah.
freedom in general.
Okay,
Like
Reborn, read us the thing because maybe if this a TV original show or is this a light novel or a manga?
it's a TV original.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say maybe the original thing had I don't know, had that like wore it more on its sleeve, but I think like the Yuri stuff was really open and forward. That's actually something I really liked about the show, that it wasn't making a big deal about it. It just was the case.
And even then, it kind of wasn't really. There was at one point in which it kind of was, which was
That one
um
point, okay.
yeah, there like the whole part where she's hanging out with all of the different personalities of Paprika, and there's
Uh,
like the guys and the quirky girls and whatever,
Okay,
and there's the
okay.
part where in the bed and she's like, do you like me? But like, and she's like, but
Lemon, it
not
was way more than
romantically.
just that. I mean, that
But
was where it was more openly sexual, but no, it was gay before
Okay,
that.
okay. So
what?
here. So when the show came out, Crunchyroll put out an article, and let me read to you an excerpt from
Oh my
it.
Yeah,
god,
Crunchyroll.
Crunchyroll.
Each episode of the show focuses on homosexual tropes and gives an insight into
Oh my
Kokonoa's
god.
coming to terms with her suppressed sexuality, saying it is part of the show's
Oh my
focus on
god.
gender identity struggles of queer people, specifically of Kokono and Papika.
Yes,
Okay,
because I
where did
trust
Crunchyroll get
Crunchyroll.
that
Yeah, where
info?
did
Yeah,
they
that's
get
the
that
thing.
information? Is that just like an analysis that someone at Crunchyroll decided to make, or did they like interview people who made the show,
Sources,
and
please.
the people who made the show were like, yes, it's an allegory about being gay.
Here, I will post the article to you, but this is what Crunchyroll um
It's
advertised with the
if
show.
it's not sourced, then it is a an analysis. So of
Okay. Tricker Discovery Flip
this
Flappers.
following is from this person on Twitter.
Oh god, it's a
Cineapologist Evans
whole.
writes for Crunchyroll and IGN. Yeah, so it doesn't seem like they actually interviewed somebody for it. They just
Yeah, they just looked at
came
it
to
through
that conclusion, which it's fair. You
their
can
lens.
come to
Yeah.
that conclusion after watching
I
the show, just like I
no
came to the
see
conclusion that the whole parts where they're like, by the way, I love you, I always took that more as like a friendship kind of love,
no.
as opposed to a romantic one.
Yeah,
But
this is Americans looking at a Japanese thing, and it's weird. This is dumb. I mean, no, sorry, it's not dumb. It's a fine, fair, go for it. But like, trying to
No,
I
you
compare
just
can
it
I'm
with
say
looking
it's
the
at I'm
dumb.
looking
You
at
can
one of the
say it's
images
dumb
and
when
they're
Americans try to adapt their own ideals onto Japanese stuff. When like they'll say, "Oh yeah, this is all about queer people," and like Japan's like, "We just wanted to make it." You know, like we might
right.
be putting a little too
pretty
much
pretty
thought into this.
yeah, you've been putting a little too much thought. I just love there's one of the scenes that they're citing, which I think is probably my favorite episode, when they're inside the life of the art girl, um where she has the drawing, and the parents are like, but it's not normal, is it, they said to draw normally,
So
and
in the last episode of
I took it as, yeah, that art is kind of shit because she's a kid, and like it's a scene of her and her aunt in the bathroom, like having a good time, and it's, I didn't take that to be
Oh, is that really? Hold on.
intentionally queer, gay in any way, but apparently, according to this Crunchyroll writer, it's like, of course it's gay,
Yeah, they
even
are
though the
saying
kid
that.
was like 6 at the time, probably.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the art girl and stuff like that. But okay, Reborn. Any last I guess
Anyway,
takes
It's so
anyway,
on that
maybe-
Reborn on that
maybe-
even
fucking
even if you
Crunchyroll article.
Okay,
and
hold on.
even if you
Let me
take it to
finish
be
my
gay,
final.
which again, that is fair.
Let me finish my final
It's
thoughts
still
before you go
bizarre
off.
to me that you think it's so
Lemon,
bad.
lemon.
It's not that I think it's so bad. It's just I think I've seen this story a million times and I was jaded. Maybe reading that, article by Crunchyroll, because I looked into the promotional stuff, maybe that clouded my vision and made me just way more jaded to it than I should have been. But I just felt like I've seen the story before. Felt like it's nothing special. I felt like it's just trying to reference everything, and at the same time, it's only being held up by its animation and fucking visuals. Like,
I actually agree with a lot of that, especially just the like I've seen this before. I didn't it didn't ruin the show for me. I guess
Yeah.
I like that. So I guess my biggest problem with it at first is that so much of the tension and shit could have been resolved if anybody explained literally a fucking thing about what's going on. But then you realize it's about God, what are the names? Coconut,
That,
Coconut.
that would be so
Um,
much more fucking boring.
like be of
No, but
it ties into
it's
her fear
valid
of
though.
failure and how she's just kind of
Yeah.
going with the flow. And
Yes.
so yeah, she
Yeah.
is kind of just dealing with it. She's
You-
doing it without having the full picture.
You know
and
what
you're
show?
there with her.
You know what show did this a
Yes.
lot better?
So,
Mob Psycho.
Sure.
hmm.
Uh, yeah, I would.
Yeah, 'cause
yeah,
at-
actually, I would
I
say
haven't
that.
seen
Yeah.
all of it, so
Yeah, at the beginning of Mob Psycho season 2, this girl's like, "I only go with the flow. I only do things because other people tell
Okay.
me to because it's easier." They literally
I
spell
haven't
it
seen Mob
out.
Psychos. I haven't seen Mob Psycho season 2. Yeah, but I like the way that it's presented in the show. And look, when you do the same thing as other people, it's the viewer, the consumer shouldn't get hung up on the fact that it's doing the same thing as other things. It's about whether or not it's doing that same thing effectively. If you're doing the same cliche, then you should do that cliche effectively. If you're doing the same trope, you should do that trope effectively. And so it doesn't matter to me if I've seen the story before necessarily. It matters if it's being effective. And the show, I think, was effective.
You have a much better tolerance for that. When I go through something that I feel like I've been through before, I have a less tolerance for staying through it because I feel like, I've been through this before and there are only certain parts of it that I really like. And I don't want to go and nitpick the parts that I really enjoyed. And like that doesn't make me say, oh yeah, I really like this. I only like segments of it. If I'm
When
picking pizza, if I'm picking parts out of like a stir fry or something. I'm only taking
no,
out
you were
the
doing a
carrots and stuff.
pizza allegory.
No,
my
okay, fine,
Yeah.
pizza.
Yes, yes.
If I'm going for a pizza and I'm only picking off the pepperonis and whatever else like bacon or something, like that doesn't mean that I like the whole the pepperoni and bacon pizza. I only like the parts of it. So I can't say I like the whole thing.
well,
Dude, this
my
guy
I only
likes
like
pepperoni,
segments.
bro.
Yeah,
my
shut up. I only like if I only like segments of something, I can't say I like it, you know?
Well, my approach to this kind of thing is not I it's not I'll tolerate it. It's that if I'm viewing the same thing that covers the same themes or the same plot progression or whatever as something else, then it's more about, are you at that standard or higher? Because if you don't meet that standard, then I'll probably not continue watching you. And I think that this show meets or beats standards that other shows set that in this kind of regard. Like you, I'm sure there are a million shows that are just super inelegant, not pretty to look at, and ineffective when it comes to whatever themes that you want to take out of this show.
Lemon, I agree with you, but you're gonna have to start citing examples for this effectivity that you keep going on about.
You're gonna
just,
you're gonna you're gonna have to you're
we're-
gonna have to start citing shows that are similar to this one because I just
fucking
don't. I just don't.
Evangelion,
Oh.
Kill La Kill.
I'm not that big
the
fan of
other
Eva.
one.
It's all right.
But that doesn't
Gurren
just because
Lagann.
you're not a fan of it doesn't invalidate
Well,
you, idiot.
I know. Kill la Kill, I don't think is a good comparison because while it looks similarly pretty, it's not at all the same because all of Kill la Kill's themes are basically just about clothing. This is
No,
this is
no,
not
it goes
this is
through a
not
lot
all
of
about
freedom,
clothing.
It goes
dude.
through a lot of
What?
the same magical girl tropes in the sort of tone that both of the shows, a tone that they share, not that they're incredibly similar. I'm just saying. You
And
were
it gets a
asking
little
for
bit gay at the
citations.
end.
But look, all I wanted to say about Coconut
Yes,
going with the
I've-
flow, well, I haven't seen Mob Psycho, but even if it does it better, I'm just saying that I like that it's framed through her perspective.
Yes, I've seen one
and-
magical girl show. I've seen them all. I've seen Sailor Moon. Of
I-
course,
I
I
will
can't
say-
stand other magical girls. This
I
is
will-
barely even magical girl show. They just kind of transform
Yeah.
for the hell of it.
I
Yeah,
will
that's
say,
true.
one of the reviews actually, Ross, a man named Ross from Them Anime Reviews, a credible source. has said that it does invoke a lot of like feelings of Kill la Kill.
Hmm.
On another note,
I feel like that's got to be visual though, because I just don't
Yeah.
see it
well,
in terms
Not
of
No,
everything
everything
is
else.
really visual.
I can see
I,
some
I I
some of
will
the
say, yeah,
connections and what they would
it would be
take from
visual
it,
for
but
me because, like I was telling Lemon earlier, the show it makes me feel like it's a Trigger light show. Like if I found out Trigger animated this, like if I was told that, I'd believe it because of how over the top some scenes are and how good it looks.
I'd
Even
be a
then,
little
it's the
disappointed just because the characters suffer from a bit of same face, but I did love the art style, yes.
yeah. I was about to say to with regards to that though, it's really just the action that looks like Trigger. The art style itself really it
No,
really isn't. You look
no,
at their
but with
faces,
Trigger,
it
their
doesn't
art
look like
styles do
Trigger.
tend to change a little bit.
The
Not
color,
drastically, but it's sort of it is a little bit different between series, you
yeah,
know.
but the color palette in this show even is a lot more.
Well, again,
It's
that does the color
it's
palette
less
can be.
vibrant. This is more like I suppose it's colorful, but the colors
I don't
are
think you've
more
seen
like
many
toned
Trigger
down.
series.
you're
I
just all
have
you're
seen a
trying
lot
to
of Trigger series.
Lemon, all you're trying to tell us right now is that it's not a Trigger light show. Gosh, but look, it does, okay? It does kind of resemble it, and you're just gonna have to live with
One
that.
thing,
That's
Yeah,
right.
I don't think you've seen enough of what they've done
uh,
because they can do more subtle and calm stuff and change it up a lot, you know.
I would
I was yes, but I was referring to like the color palette, not like the.
Even the color
Reborn,
palette. That's what
no,
I'm. Oh my
Reborn.
god, dude.
I love you. Please speak.
I do want to add one thing, something that we can all agree is stupid. Nick Creamer of Anime News Network said the series was amazing. Um,
Well,
but for
this
but
isn't
hold on,
Let
this
him
isn't
hold
an
on.
finish.
No, no, no,
anime
no, no, no,
review
no,
Let
no,
of
him
no.
the
Let me
show.
finish.
let me finish. Let me finish. Shut the fuck up. All right, you jumping the gun, bruh. You jumping the gun. But anyway, Nick Creamer from Anime News Network said he loved the story, everything about the story. He hated the visuals and called the music trash.
Okay, that's the
Wow.
fucking
Baby's first
Okay.
anime.
fucking
Yeah,
take
good
ever.
job.
Like we can
The
all
music is
agree
one
on.
of the
At
best
least
No,
we
it's
can
parts
because
all
of the
agree that
show.
I'm
this
an
guy is
old man,
retarded.
dude. I didn't like the
music is one of the
visual.
fucking best parts of the
I
show. Are
didn't
you
like the
kidding me?
music. It didn't sound like what I like.
I actually
No,
Oh
didn't. I
man.
don't recall the music.
Like he's like, oh, it's a remarkable union of emotional intent and it's a multi-generational love story, except it's pretty messy in the animation
Yeah.
department and music isn't memorable.
yeah, he just has bad taste. He's on the
Yeah,
Anime
what
News
a
Network.
yeah, what a
He's
fucking
already
idiot.
trash.
Yeah, we can all agree that this guy is poo-poo garbage.
Wait, there was a point in there. God damn it. Hold on. Nah, it left my head. But
The soundtrack.
It had to do with the multi-generational love story part of it.
yes, yeah, the fucking Papika did the Twilight thing. You guys know the thing I'm talking about, where the other love interest, the dog dude, since he didn't get with her, he settled he settled for getting with her daughter when she turns 18 or something like that.
I don't think it was ever implied that Papiko was romantically interested in Mimi.
Okay, can we just
look,
take Lemon? Can you not be a part of
look,
this, please?
look, Papika's personality. If you are to say that Papiko is romantically interested in Mimi, then you probably have to. Then you probably then what you are basically saying is that Papika's romantically interested in fucking everybody because that's just her personality.
Yeah.
She's just
Yeah.
she's just that like vibrant of a person that she just is in love with everybody.
Lemon, I'm confident those people exist.
Did we not watch the same show? Like, she's I mean, sorry, the other one. Mimi and Coconut are the only ones that Papika fawns over that much. I mean, I get what you're saying. Sure, that she
yeah, but
could
she
be that
she has
forward
like
with people
she
in
has like
general.
nobody else though to fawn over.
I don't know where Yuri. Oh my god. Okay, whatever. Speaking of Yuri, I don't know. I really like Papika though, and don't ruin it for me, okay?
She is funny.
She's
You're ruining it for
super
me.
forward with Yuri. And you know what's
Ruin
my
it.
favorite part about it all is that the show doesn't do that anime bullshit where it's like the girls are gay, but not so much that the fucking incel virgin audience can't like self-project onto the situation, it doesn't bother. It's just like, yeah, fuck it. She's gonna make out with her, bro. They're gonna do lesbo shit. That's great and good for them. But at the same time, it's never a lesbian romance. It's just like, there.
Well,
No, it's
okay,
like
I think-
college all over again. Just
I think
experimenting. You're gay,
the
but,
fact that
you
there
know.
even is this
What's a bro
difference
job between
is-
bros? You know?
I think the fact that there's even this difference in interpretation
They're homosexual.
is a quality of the show. Like if you can take different things out of a show, chances
Man, I
are
could take a
the
breath
show
out.
is doing something right. Unless it's just completely retarded show. But this one's
Wait.
not. So
Most.
I actually wish I'd been paying attention to what you were saying. It sounded like you were making a point.
I
but
was
please,
making a
somebody
point.
else take.
you're just sick of listening to me because I don't think the show is as gay as you do.
All right.
No,
I'll take.
I'm with
no.
you. I'm the only one that's right here. God.
Okay,
Evidently you
okay.
are.
No,
because-
Marin's
because
right. He's the only one who's
to
right
be
here.
to be fair, my opening
we're not
statement
being
to the
fair.
show, if Reborn was not so coming out fucking swinging, was
You
about
be
to be
fawning all over it.
this is a rather unfair review from my point of perspective, because I don't think that it deserves a 9 or a 10 on for the same reason that say Steins Gate or Gankutsuo would. Like, it's not the most narratively mind-blowing fucking
Yeah,
whatever.
I would like to say,
but for some reason, as I was watching the first few episodes of the show, it was like weird. Like, the show fundamentally just like clicked with me. So it's a very unfair review from my perspective, because I really like the show for just on my
Yes,
own.
you like Toho
Like,
and you like the other things.
there's
No,
not really a logic to my liking of the show so much as it just clicked with me. It's just a
logic.
feeling thing.
The
I think
thing,
we all know.
like
No,
for
it's
me,
not. It has nothing to do with me fucking liking Toho or me
it
being.
probably does.
And it has nothing to do with me being a Yuri fag either. Clearly,
No,
since I
it
don't think
does.
that the show is as
Yeah,
gay
no.
as you guys think it is.
I would like to say, I would like to get this out there. As much as I gave it shit, and as much as I came out swinging, I did have a lot. Like, I don't like this show, but I had a lot of fun watching it. I will say that to its credit, it is a fun show. It did
Yeah,
also
I
make
think
me
that's a good
kind of
thing.
feel a little
Aw.
at the end. So so as much as
Like
I
I
think
said,
it's a
effective.
bad show, it is fun.
Can't, okay, I remember what I was gonna
Yeah.
say.
Any
What
show,
was
your
that can
favorite
make you,
art
any
style
show
you
that can
were?
make you feel something is not bad. Unless it's Rage. If a show makes you feel Rage, it's probably bad.
No, it could be
I didn't hear it.
amazing.
And you're just retarded.
What did you ask, Marin?
What?
What was your favorite world, like art style?
Yes.
Honestly, the one in the first episode, like, I like the snow,
Mm-hmm.
and then I like the big
too.
thingies with the yellow eyes.
I too like Snow, but that probably wasn't my favorite. I couldn't tell you what my favorite one is. I didn't think that hard about it.
It kept with the like the established art style of the show.
I
With
think-
that sort of like watercolor texture on things.
Yeah.
That's what I
Or
was
fucking
thinking of.
Italy,
The
Japan, or
watercolor.
whatever the hell they are.
That's what I don't think looks like Trigger, is the watercolor-esque feel of the art style.
Looks like Caillou.
But I think actually maybe the bunny place, the second episode. I think
Oh, the
that might be
grinder
my-
place. Hmm.
Yeah, I think that might be my favorite aesthetic that they did for the pure illusion.
That was kind of hot. that's
You know
like
what it
where
is?
it really like came in that the show was not just gonna be cute but also sexy, where they're getting like the impulses to gnaw and shit. Same, bro. Just saying.
That's sexy to you. You like biting.
No, I mean like the description of like them being like impulsively wanting to. I don't know. Fuck you. I'm not gonna go into my.
We've
No,
outed
go
Marin's
on.
fetish. Marin
Say what
loves
you were
biting. He loves
thinking.
gnawing. He
I get
loves
that.
vor.
No, I don't like vor. I hate when I'm like browsing comics or dojins and it's like, oh, looks like a good art style, and it's vor. No, all right, thanks guys. It's really hot.
I hate totally off topic, but I hate when I'm browsing dojins that I look at it, like a page from it and the tits are like down to their knees.
Or it's in that or
That's
not.
fucking
That's where I go. That's where
ticks
I
me
draw the
off.
line.
Yeah.
I can't stand cheating. It's
I
just
usually
no.
it's not even that I can't stand cheating, even though I mean if it happened in real life that'd be shitty, but it's just that it's always about the guy. And anyway, can what
It's
about
not
hey,
Listen,
dojin
Dojin
I
review.
reviews
It's
can
are
foot
like
flappers. Foot
nip
flappers.
slappers, am I
Foot
right,
Yeah,
guys?
let's. Well, we can. That's a conversation for another time.
Right,
Let's
right.
talk about the
Join us
fucking
on
music.
Honest
That
Reviews episode 2. We review the
dojins.
video
Just
where
the,
Sour Lemon gets sent to yard.
Um,
About time.
oh no,
okay,
please
okay,
no.
okay. So this has only been 25 minutes. We seem to be already running out of things to talk about, and
No,
I'm
no, we
going
No,
off
don't
I
run out
feel
of
That's a
like
things.
good
we're
We have
just
thing.
things
too
to
off
talk
track.
about.
I have things to
Yeah,
talk about, yeah.
let's fucking talk about the music real quick, because this ending theme is one of my favorite ending themes. Just period.
Hmm.
Flip flap.
It was
Uh,
cute. It reminded me of Maguil, I think, which is like the credits theme for Witch in the Hundred Night, which has like a similar art style to that credits. It was nice. It was folksy.
yes, good song. I love it. I used to have it on my phone on Google Play Music before Google Play Music got fucking yeeted.
Noob doesn't even download all his music. Wow, wow.
Well, I have a bunch of shit downloaded, but I don't use that anymore. Well, my phone didn't have enough space for all the shit that I had on Google Play Music, which is why I used it in the first place.
Namba, sorry, Oda, author of that one show. What was
Yes,
your
Oda is
favorite art
a
style?
character in I, the Somnium Files.
Hmm.
He hasn't seen the
I
show
don't
in
want.
fucking years. Why are you even asking
No,
him?
but I can remember it, dude, because it's vivid, man. I don't want to be a basic bitch, but honestly, like, just like I wanna say all of it, cause when there's a show that I actually enjoy, I'm not afraid to come swinging at it and say that it's garbage, but it's my garbage and I like it. This is that kind of show where like I'll say it's not that good. I might say it's not for everybody, but even if you don't like the story, at least it looks absolutely amazing. Like
That's
I've genuinely, I look at it and I'm like, oh wow, have I seen this before? I've seen this before, but it always feels like a new experience. It's like
yeah.
it's like a drink, man. Like you haven't had a drink in so long. Like I've tried this before, but it feels so fresh and so new, and I enjoy this.
It's weird for me because I feel like I'm being told, and this was back when the show was airing too. I feel like I'm being told by the internet and you people that the show is not particularly good. That the story and the characters and
I
the
said it
themes
might
and
not be
whatnot,
good. It's just like it's not for
it's not
everyone kind of thing.
it's not not that good. But like I think about the last like 5 or so episodes of the show and the the characterization it has and the themes that it covers and all that jazz. And I just don't think people are giving the show enough credit for how it effectively accomplishes each of
I don't
the
know.
characters.
I did think it was cool that the climax started like 4 episodes before the end. I felt like, okay, cool. They're gonna write what they wanted to write all along now.
I think it
and we're
was
gonna
an
get a
episode. I think it
solid four
wasn't.
episodes out of it.
I think it was an episode too long. I don't think it. I don't think it needed to be that aggressive with the mother's alter ego. It felt like she was there for too long. I will say.
I feel like it really needed it to establish that they were kind of different people, even though it didn't. You didn't really get that completely until it was over. I mean, whatever. Yeah. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, I think it was an episode too long. But like, for example, when you said with Coconut and how she is aimless and how she's just always gone with the flow, I think it effectively delivered on her characterization. Um, I think Paprika is weird because she doesn't really have a character arc, does she? she's just kind of the same the whole time, although sometimes she has insecurities about whether or not Coconut fucking hates her for lying or not telling the full truth. But Dr. Salt, I like how it shows his past regrets and his failings and how he's grown from them.
I think that scene where he shoots his old
Yeah.
self really tied up the character in a nice
And
little bow. That was
and
good.
I also like how that contrasts with Mimi, because Mimi, the entire climax is that her alter ego is taken over and is the enemy, but Dr. Salt didn't even let that happen in the first place. He was like, "No, fuck you. I'm better than that." I like that contrast as well.
Women don't know shit, son.
What even are women?
Let me know
What
when
are
you find
women?
one. Hey, Reborn. So what what was your biggest call? Like what did you say call from the beginning, and then it happened and you were like, oh yeah, I'm so badass. I'm Reborn Pyro. I'm host of Shred It,
Fucking seen
motherfucker.
this show a million times.
I it wasn't anything in particular. It's the vibe I got.
Mm.
It's hard to explain. The two characters seem kind of gay. I was like, oh, is this going where I think it is? And then it ended up going that way.
That happens. I think some people just like it's hard to explain why they dislike something even when they go through like why don't I like this? I should like this. I feel like I should like this, but I just don't. And sometimes you just can't verbalize what you dislike about it.
Maybe Reborn has just seen too many gay shows, and I've seen not enough.
That's a very good
That might
possibility.
be it. Who
'Cause
knows, man?
it's possible I have not seen that many gay shows, or rather, a lot. I feel like shows that I watch that have gay stuff in them, the gay stuff is like kind of a sideshow to the actual show.
That's
Is
gonna
more
really turn around with the show I'm gonna have you guys watch. What one of the two
because
potential
like
shows?
because like take for example, not. I don't know, like pretty much any cute girl show. Like there's parts of it where it's like, oh, this is Yuri, but then it's like, but it's also not. It's like it's just not, the show just isn't gay, but it has times where the viewer can be like, ah, but it's gay though, just to satisfy themselves.
Hmm. I think it does it tastefully, but yeah.
Yes, the well, because it's not like an actual, it's not a sideshow to the show. It's like incorporated into the actual meaning of the show. Like that. So it's, of course it's gonna be. I would hope it's good if it's like a part of the actual show.
I think that you
If it
could
was-
hop into any episode and get something out of it, even if it's a boner.
Well, that's what matters the most to a man.
That's
If this show can't arouse me, then I'm not watching it.
How many
Ronda
are there?
Rousey, more like Ronda Rousey. Am I right, fellas? High five! Yeah, yeah.
I will say, because of how this review has gone and the information I have learned, after Steins Gate Zero, my next show will be Mob Psycho.
Oh, epic! I'm excited because I do want to watch that, but I'm never going to unless
Oh
you.
God,
make me.
that's like 50 episodes
It's
fine.
24.
across in both seasons.
Yes, each season is 12 episodes, idiot.
Oh, I thought both seasons were 24.
No!
Just-
No!
me.
No!
I'm honestly surprised I haven't seen the second season of Mob Psycho. I really liked the first season,
The
but
second
that's
season
on
is
me.
better than the first, surprisingly.
Uh,
By
anyways,
the way, Marin, so me and Lemon were talking to Lev, and his review of Steins Gate Zero was, it's better than the original, but just don't watch it.
Okay. I mean, I don't want to watch it, but I'm going to.
both me and Marin are gonna go into it like, I don't want to fucking watch this.
I'm gonna be shaking my fist the whole
Yeah.
time.
So let's go back to personally my favorite episode, which was with the artist girl I mentioned before, where they're living the life of Iro. I think that single episode using the conceit of the show of Flip Flappers really effectively um uh, uh portrays the kind of life a child with parents who are unhappy, basically, to put it lightly, the kind of life that they live, which is when they're around their parents, it can be fucking miserable. But when they're with another relative who treats them nicely and gives them attention, they fucking have a good time. And it's really effective in making you feel for her in either situation, especially when her aunt gets dementia. And I like how every single time, and I like how part of the way that they do this is that when she's with her parents and it's depressing, she's like, I want to escape from this, so let me switch with my partner. And so my partner can take over the sad part so I can go live the fun part. Thought that was good. Apparently you guys have nothing to say about it.
No, I'm just thinking about it. It was good. No, that was one of the cooler ideas that they had, I guess. So just take an episode to focus on that. Although,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say that one of my notes is what did it didn't resolve. It ended up with her, she's throwing away her paintings, and I thought that the whole episode was going to be focused on her doing that, but then they just you know, proceed with the plot.
That was
I wonder
the
if that was
that
cut
was
out
the
or if that was intentional.
that was the one like unresolved thing, is whether or not she actually changed back into a person who draws all the time, or I mean, it showed at the end her looking through the window and her fingernails are painted, so I guess it implies that they didn't change that back to how it was before.
Well, no, because she wouldn't paint her nails before. She said,
Yeah, that's what I
like, she's
mean.
not worthy.
They didn't reverse the change that they made.
"Oh, sorry." Okay, yes.
But it is, it's not like the show is about changing the past and the implications that in the future. That's that's more Steins Gate territory.
Well, it kind of leads into another point I had about those gates, like the Persona 5 fucking go into somebody's cognition or whatever kind of thing. That they spent a whole episode doing that, and I guess they just really wanted to have a story about the artist girl and her past because I don't know. You see, when you're establishing something like that, like you can specifically go into somebody's mind. I felt like that was gonna have consequences, but they just didn't.
Well, the consequences of it is that it made Coconut want to go into the parallel illusion. I've already forgot what it's called. It made her not want to go in there even more. Made her less inclined to go. It was adding more fuels to the fires because it's like, we can change the future. We probably shouldn't do that. I did think about it a little bit, and I was being a little retarded with regards to how gay it was, specifically Papika, because I'm now thinking about how she uses the term partner with regards to Mimi, and then I think about how Coconut feels about it, and it's like, yeah, her being that mad and jealous does make a little more sense in the context of a relationship rather than friendship, because it's like, why would you feel so angry about somebody just having another friend? But it makes sense to feel that angry about somebody having a different partner. So I was being a little retarded. It is more of an allegory for gay stuff than I was giving it credit for. But it's not so explicitly about it that it's distracting. That's my takeaway from it. Is that it's
on this
not
episode of the Honest Podcast, Sour Lemon learns self-awareness and then immediately forgets it.
Apparently.
Can we start a timer
because-
for when
because
that
when-
immediately
for the
changes?
Because when you
Reddit
watch
reviews.
when you watch
Today, we've officially hit $1 million.
Yeah, right.
Where you
Let's
get
get
that
back
money
on
from?
topic.
Give me some of that.
Marin robbed the
we
bank
already
earlier,
know we're
so
putting all the money to getting Reborn a new heart, Sour Lemon a new brain, and Oda the
I
courage
think-
to
I
finally
think-
fucking
I
just
think you
end it, dude.
might
Just
need to
get it
I
over
think
with.
you
Fuck you.
I think you might
Courage.
I
have
think
the
you need
cojones.
I think you need to flip those because if anything I lack a heart and if anything
No,
Reborn
you
lacks
lack a brain, my man.
Yeah.
It's just full of straw and Yuri and Toho.
Out of here.
he opens it up and then that fucking Remu Toho character jumps out.
Engineering because fucking whatever.
He goes to
Um,
take a test and it's like, what is the answer to this equation? Sour Lemon looks at it, he blinks 3 times, he writes Remu. On to the next question.
Stop!
Remu
I'm
for
losing.
Smash, bro.
I'm losing my thought. No.
What did you get?
His thought is just Remu.
No. You guys made me lose my thought about flip flappers.
He goes to the
I
next
hate
question.
you. God.
What
How does
is
he do it every time?
Damn it.
He goes to the next question down on the paper, right?
Oh.
He's like, "Oh, this
God.
is the hardest one. This is the one the professor said we really
So
had to
what-
study for. What's the what you write down the formula and solve this problem?" Sour Lemon looks at it. He blinks 3 times. He goes to write Remu. He's like, "No, that's not right. I must answer this correctly." He blinks 3 more times and goes, "That's right, Remu."
Yeah.
So
Damn, he's breathing heavy.
you know when a show or something is like explicitly about gay stuff, it's like it's a little annoying to some extent because you're trying so hard to be about being gay that you're kind of going overboard and it's distracting and it's annoying. But this show, even though I have come to realize it is more gay than I was giving it credit for, it's not distractingly explicit about it.
You recommended this show. Oh my god.
Yes, I did. I did
By the way,
recommend
I'd like
this
to point
show.
out
I
that
think
I'm
it's
drinking a
good.
Four
I think
Loko
it's a
sour
fucking
lemon.
good show.
You know,
Get
for
out
someone
of
who
here.
sounds so gay, I'm
Recording.
surprised you didn't see it so early.
Flip my flap, bitch.
Speaking of things that didn't,
Oh,
I'm
lead
not
up
into that,
anything,
man.
what was up with the third lolly, the pigtail kid? She didn't do jack shit. She was totally
Bad
incidental.
She was basically a narrative construct to force the organization of scientist people to take a look at Yayaka and be like, "Get the fuck out of here, bitch. We don't need you." And for her to be all upset about it.
I mean, I guess.
Because evidently she didn't actually do much of anything, the replacement girl, and she also didn't really say much of anything. There wasn't really any meaning to her existence beyond how it impacts Yayaka's existence.
Yeah. One of the things I wanted to say was that before I watched this show, my original plan was to come in here, Marin.
Sorry.
Stop listening to Pokemon music.
My original plan was to come in here guns blazing, talking about how I watched Flip Flappers, a speed-running history diving into the Microsoft Windows game, Ping Pong. Not Ping Pong.
What?
Ping
What?
pong, the animation.
Do you mean Pong?
No.
And also why?
No. What's... fucking... I'm
Flop
blanking
flippers.
out.
Fucking dumbass.
Yeah. Who is it you said needed a new brain?
It's still you. This is just
Yeah.
a small lapse on his part.
You're not gonna tip over that. It's.
We're not gonna count this one. This is off the record.
How many times has Reborn fucking failed and
It's
trailed?
off the record, dumbass. It's you are the dumb one.
Okay, yeah. I watched a documentary on the pinball Microsoft game, okay? and how people speed run the pinball with the flip flappers.
Pinball.
You know, they've got the little flip flappers at the bottom. It was very interesting, and overall, I don't get why you recommended a YouTube series. I really don't.
I think they're called flippers. Yeah.
I thought they
I
were
always
called
call them
paddles.
dongs.
Oh, maybe it's either flippers or
It,
paddles.
it's definitely not context, but
Flat
God,
Flippers is my favorite.
This is
anime.
this is
like soda versus pop. I'm blanking out on the fucking word again.
this is
Actually, Flat Flippers would be a good name for an abridged series.
this is a review.
Yeah.
This review is the least about its subject matter of any review.
And that's all because I'm here, baby.
Well, no, we talked about the
It
gay
really
stuff.
isn't.
Yeah, baby.
It isn't at all because of you.
Listen, we talked about the gay stuff, which is what the series is about when we opened. Okay.
All that
Right,
matters.
Crunchyroll said so.
Just the queer.
Crunchyroll said it's gay, therefore it is.
Remember when IGN reviewed Speedgrapher and they
So-
said 0 out of 10, too many gays?
So evidently,
Your mom is gay,
IGN did
therefore
not
you
review
are
this
gay.
show.
So
IGN did not review this show.
so evidently this show is fairly gay, but is it about specifically gay discovery?
Yes.
No.
It's about
Well,
the gays.
I
You
think
need to
that's
understand
one of
everything's gay.
it's one of the things you could interpret it to be about.
I will say the
Yeah.
reason why I took the Crunchyroll article with less of a grain of salt than I should have is specifically because animation studios or publishers are known to give Crunchyroll extra money to put like promotional articles out that they have to approve. So that means the publisher for Flip Flappers approved this promotional article to come out with the anime.
Are you sure about that? Where's your proof?
Damn, dude. Those are
For
good
this-
splits, because you're doing some mental gymnastics, my
Well,
friend.
isn't it fucking
Well,
common
I
knowledge
can.
that Crunchyroll
You're
does
saying
this?
yes, but you're saying
Eh,
that it's
probably.
as a generalization that this is the case.
I'm not saying it's the
Like,
case. I'm just
what,
like
what it is. Is it the case specifically for this article? You have to prove it. That's all
I'm saying I don't know if that's the case specifically for this article, but that's the general feeling I have towards these articles. Like I know they're paid for.
By the way, just so you know, Namba, this is completely unrelated. I have Mini blocked, so I don't see his messages unless I specifically go to see them, which I would prefer not to.
Why are we talking about this on
You want me to
stream?
add him? We could add
No,
him. and let him
no,
know to
because
listen to this,
because
stream, if you
Namba pinged me with regard to something that Minnie said evidently, and so I'm just going to fucking ignore it.
Minnie posted a YouTube
Yeah, it has something
series.
to it has something to do with incest, and I didn't really care, so I just.
So you
Yeah,
did
Yeah,
see it.
somebody in I think the general channel posted like a draw my life video titled "I have a thing for my own brother." I started watching it, but then we started recording, and I'm really excited to know what the fuck this
Whoa,
video
is this podcast all about incest now?
Is it about trails
No,
in
it's
the
If it's
not.
about
sky?
Incest.
incest, then we should go watch fucking Arrow Manga Sensei or something. Let's please not watch Arrow Manga
They're
Sensei.
not
Yeah,
even
now we have to.
related.
We have to now.
All right, all
I
right.
deliberately avoided Arrow Manga Sensei when it aired because it's
You're a
it's
coward.
just dumb.
Um,
I am
we're
a
gonna watch
coward.
it.
I am a coward for not watching
We have to
something I
watch it.
know that I'll dislike.
Marin,
I have a
what?
whole scene dedicated to letting you know, hey, don't worry, guys. We're
There is-
Remember that
there is
time when the main
hardly-
characters basically kidnapped a girl?
Remember when
there
Elon
is
Musk and
hardly
his
a-
wife changed their profile pictures to the Oriamo couple, the brother and sister?
there is
Oh shit, we gotta watch
hardly
that too.
there's hardly anything I've consumed that I dislike because I either avoid things that I know I will have a propensity to dislike,
or it hits a little
I,
too close
or
to
I,
home.
or I drop them early on because I don't like them or I'm bored. So there's very few things I've consumed to completion that I dislike.
By the way, speaking of consumed to completion, Marin, how you doing, buddy?
I'm playing Pokemon Storm Silver.
Uh,
I fucking patched
what's your show
ROM
for
of it.
next week?
Wait, are we done?
I guess we are. Closing thoughts. We should rate the show. I'll start off since mine's going to be the hottest take because this show so specifically aligned with me, like on a sort of spiritual level. You could even say. Oh,
Good lord, you
um,
like Yuri on Lollies, yes.
no, because nothing. Whatever. I give it a 10 that it doesn't deserve.
Huh.
So,
Okay.
moving on.
I give it a 4.
He's not even at his mic.
Go figure. He hates gay things.
I give it a 4 only because I've seen
That's
the
right.
same story so many
You
times.
heard it here first, folks. Reborn is homophobic
Yep.
and
He doesn't-
transphobic, lesbian phobic, racist,
He doesn't like
Um,
flip flappers, therefore he's homophobic.
and
He's,
anti-Semitic,
misandrous.
You
Yeah,
cannot
misogynist.
you cannot you
He's
cannot
a vegan.
you
He's a
cannot
vegan?
tol-
He's a keto.
It is impossible for
He
you to
exercises
tolerate gay
daily?
people unless you also like flip flappers.
Listen, if you don't like our gay stuff, then you hate gay people.
So
I don't make the rules.
so I give it a 10.
Well,
Reborn
I
gives
do
it a
hate
4. What do you
lemons,
give
so
it,
I guess
Marin?
that's true.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm glad I
Yes.
didn't say very specific words during this podcast. What do you give it, Marin?
It's fucking. Okay, so I gave the other two shows an 8. I guess I'll give this. I don't know, 7.5. My favorite. I guess just watching it, looking at it, right, with my eyes and what being like, wow. I just like
my eyes.
that it does have a beautiful art style
Whoa,
and that it
technology.
makes the most of it. With all the unique different worlds and the themes and the artistic flourishes that they have. My favorite was probably like our world, where it's all really gray, but there's hints of red here and there. Like the timing, it was like scary movie to like jump scare timing, but at the same time comedic timing. I thought that was well meshed. And but that wasn't my favorite world. That wasn't even my favorite one. My favorite one was the last one, the misdirect, where you're like, oh my god, was the whole place all along slightly influenced by pure illusion, and we're actually in boring old regular Japan, not Italy Japan. But nope, that was a pure illusion, you idiot. That was an art style. You bought it hook, line, and sinker. It was Italy Japan the whole time. Damn, get some. Oda, what did you think?
What I think. Well, I don't want to use my last viewing, which I don't think was that long, but it has been some time since I've seen it. But I generally have good memories with it. Not
Oh,
like life changing, but I'd say, I liked it. I enjoyed my time with it. I didn't come out of it thinking, man, I could have used that time to do something else. Time well spent. I give it like a 7 out of 10, or yeah, 7 now. Maybe if you asked me what I thought of it earlier, I might have said 8, but my opinions have mellowed out on it.
There's only like 2 dojins of this show. I just want to point that out, and one of them's all Fuda, like Fuda on Fuda. So
Yeah, well, you don't need it because the show
What?
already does enough for me. Okay.
that's true. You could just save a few gifts off of the show.
The show is not at all erotic, but you can still get off
It's-
to it.
Okay, so the
But-
show that I'm gonna leave it up to you guys. The next show we're gonna watch. Who has anybody seen Log Horizon?
No,
Yes, I have.
I
A
don't
very
know.
good show. Fucking
I
love
have
it.
not.
Okay. Has anybody seen Revolutionary Girl Lieutenant?
No.
No.
So
feel like
I
I
don't know if
recognize
the
that
conceit
name.
of the show is that you guys haven't seen it, and I have.
The
But
the
what
conceit.
do you prefer,
Well,
Log Horizon or Utena?
Log Horizon's long. It's what 24 episodes for the first
Yes,
two
but they
seasons.
just started doing a new season, and
I
I
was-
need an excuse to
yeah,
rewatch it so
so-
that I can watch the new season.
Yeah, 24 episodes for the first 2 seasons, and then 12 episodes so far in the 3rd season. Here's the thing, though, Marin. My approach, I think the approach is going to be different depending on the person. My approach specifically is shows that I know that are at least decent quality that are finished products in of themselves. So I'm shying away from light novel or manga adaptations where the ending is like, by the way, this is an unfinished story.
I think you can
I
still give
see
a
what you mean. I
decent
feel like we'll
enough.
be done with
So
or sorry, that season 3 will be done by the time we reviewed season 1 and 2, but it could leave things off, not completely resolved. So
I suppose that depends on how long you expect that certainly wouldn't be the case. If you plan on doing seasons 1 and 2 back to back in your choice for the review schedule, that would only be like 6 weeks from now tops. So that would certainly not be enough for the rest of the third season to air. And personally, I would shy away from Log Horizon anyways, because first of all, I don't think the third season is going to end the show. It's going to end the story.
okay.
And second of all, as I said before, currently where it stands, it's the seasons 1, 2, and whatever. They're not complete things. They're not complete stories. But you can take whatever approach you want. Reborn's
No.
Reborn's approach seems to be, I'm gonna force you guys to watch something that I like.
Yeah.
Get
So,
fucked.
Okay. So unless anybody has any objections, I'm gonna have you guys watch up to episode 23 of Revolutionary Girl Lieutenant, and that's gonna cover both the student council saga and the Black Rose saga.
how long is it?
39 episodes and a movie.
Really?
The
What is
movie's
it called?
like a weird alternate universe thing, so maybe we don't have to watch that one.
What is it called?
Well, that would be like saying we don't have to watch the movie for Madoka Magica, which is like
No, it's different. Episode up to episode 23 of Revolutionary Girl Utena.
that's so weird that there's 39 episodes. But then again, it
JoJo
aired
also
in
runs on
not fucking
39.
90. It also aired in fucking 1997. So
Yeah.
it's a little different from modern
it's a
times
TV
where
original thing, so
yeah, like because
It-
nowadays it's specifically either 12, 13, or between 24 and 26 episodes.
From just
so.
the first glance, his art style reminds me of a lot of Code Geass.
But yeah, I
Yeah,
can
except
see
it's
that.
probably better than Code Geass, depending if
Hmm.
from what
I've
I've
only
heard.
seen like
You're a
half
gay
of
ass
Code
for thinking
Geass.
that.
I don't even know why I stopped.
Look, man,
But yeah.
I dropped Code Geass around like episode 16 or 17 or whatever.
Okay, you also
so-
dropped Steins Gate, and that was a mistake.
Well,
You're a
yes, but I dropped
stupid
Steins Gate in like
idiot.
5 minutes.
Oh,
so,
shit.
So that's a little bit
Oh,
different.
okay.
That's a
I
little bit different of the
see.
story.
I'm into this. Yeah, let's
But,
go.
but yes, I'm
There-
totally down to watch Revolutionary Girl. I've
Yeah,
heard
yeah,
good
yeah.
things about it.
Let's do this. That will be all we have for this week. Starting next week, these will be on the Shred It official business review channel.
We're gonna change that name.
Nice.
I actually tried. I don't know how.
Oh, you gotta. Yeah, we'll figure that out.
Eventually. All right. We'll see you in the next show.